Do you want to sit down or something? She nodded into my shoulder, then Zombie walked over to my bed. She fell into it like a lump of clay. Well, I mean, now I'm feeling like I've drugged her or something, which is not the way I kind of want to get her into bed, man. I'm just throwing it out there right now. It's kind of really uncomfortable this way. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to England Exchange. I'm your host, the Birdman, known as Falcon. Before we get underway over here today, two things. Number one, thanks a lot for the amazing support. I am happy to announce that we'll be doing the entire run. By the way, if you guys are familiar with a pretty decent visual novel that's out, or when it's coming out, let me know about it. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see, maybe. I'm down to cover something like this down the line, so I just need suggestions. I'm not too familiar with the genre, but your suggestions are definitely welcomed. It doesn't matter if it's erotic or not, that's fine. You know what? We're all mature people here. I mean, it's very debatable with me, because, you know, number one, maturity. I don't know about that. Number two, human. I don't know about that one either. But you know what? It's fine. It can be erotic. I can handle a couple of breasts. It's perfectly fine. I can handle a couple of breasts, he says. It's not the first time I've heard that one. Anyway, second thing, voting. Who won? And right now, as of the time of this recording, I'm looking at Peggy at 60-something votes and Ashley at 30-something. So, roughly a 2-to-1. Peggy's the girl. So without further ado, let's get into it. I passed by Jiho in the hall, carrying a large canvas. Hi. She jumped when she saw me, scrambled to hide the painting she was holding, dropped it, picked it up, rammed it into her still-closed door, clawed at the door handle until she got it open, threw the canvas inside, and shut the door. Well, hi to you too, Jiho. I stared at her. She blushed a little bit. She opened her door again and followed her canvas into her room, closing the door firmly behind her. Again, hi to you too. How about some manners, huh? Somebody greets you and say hi. Give them a courtesy wave or something. Don't tell me she forgot to go inside the first time. She was banging into the door. Oh, that's great. You know, sometimes you forget to open a door and you just slam in there. Whoa, baby, how you doing today, Aussie? I'm actually quite surprised that Aussie did not get too many votes. Am I even pronouncing her name right? That double A thing is just throwing me off. I feel like I'm calling her Assy, like, you know, she's got a lot of behind, so, you know, it's kind of like one of those, like, affectionate terms. You're like, hey, Assy, how you doing? Actually, it's not really affectionate, is it? It's probably very misogynistic. Hey, Assy, how you doing, baby? Get out of here, you fucker. Oh, God. I'm gonna stop. Anyway. Hey, Falcon69. Assy came up to me. Goddamn name. I'm gonna call her Asi. Asi came up to me as I was in the kitchen making some soup. She glanced at the pot and whistled. I didn't know you could cook. Can't really call this cooking, it's mostly potatoes and water. She laughed. You're rather humble. I've always liked men who could cook. I don't even know how to cook myself. Yeah, well, I try to look less pleased than I felt, but I'm not sure if I succeeded. Would you mind if I had some? It looks really good. What kind of an asshole says, no, I'm sorry, you can't have any of this? Of course you can. Go ahead. Awesome, thank you. This fucking guy over here. A girl's just like, hey, would you mind if I had some food? No, sorry, there's not enough. There's just not enough food, okay? I gotta have the entire thing right now. I'm a fucking glutton. Anyway, I knew you were a great guy. Oh, I'm a great guy because I shared my food with you? Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't make me an asshole, that's for sure. She winked at me and went to sit at the dining table. When the food was done, I poured her a bowl and sat down to eat with her. Thank you so much. I've got to work on something, but I won't forget this. She up and left. So I ate my soup by myself. At least it was good soup. That's the upside here. At least the soup was good. Today I got back my first paper from my literature class, covered in red marks. Apparently, even though they knew I was American, I was expected to use British spelling at all times. Oh, well, obviously, do it. Why don't you check your privilege, huh? I'm sorry, I'm American. You gotta just let me slide over here, Britainland. Doesn't work that way, Falcon69. You gotta conform to the society needs around you, man. Weren't we supposed to be joined by a common language? I would have to reset the spell check on my laptop to remind me about all the extra U's and words. That's true. There's a lot of U's in the English way of spelling here. Color, contour, that's all I really know right now. That's all I really know. Color. It's really color, but you know, with the U it makes me want to say color. Anyway, well, it was all part of the English experience, I suppose. I just have to get used to it. Damn right you gotta get used to it. What do we got here? I was on my way back to the hostel when I saw something jammed into the front door. Was that really the end of a volleyball net? Would someone be trying to drag a volleyball net inside? Oh, it's Peggy, it's our girl. Alright, so remember, we're going for Peggy now, we've decided. Well, at least you guys decided for me. Although I was, kind of leaning towards Peggy anyway. Bloody worthless piece of crap. Tilt already. Oh, I decided to walk around the block a bit more before going back to my room. Why don't you help Peggy out, bruh? Alright, who do we got here? As I went about my task, I noticed Brendan closeted in the office with Oscar, the owner. He seemed to spend a lot of time in there. I wondered why, but then I wondered why Brendan had a job here at all, considering how bad he was at it. Sometime later, I was passing through the supply closet when I heard a crash in the kitchen and went running. Brendan stood over a broken plate, looking absolutely furious. Falcon 69, how could you do that? I'm gonna have to tell Oscar about this. Well, what? But I didn't. Whatever, I'll fix this up. You, just go do something else. Fuming, I turned on my heel and left the room. What do you mean you just left the room, dog? This guy's over here accusing you of doing something you didn't do and you're just gonna walk away from it? Oh yeah, sure. Thanks a lot for covering for something I didn't do, Brandon. I'm gonna leave now. It's like, come on, man. This mother... I don't like this Brandon guy at all. I'm gonna fight this dude. If I get the option of fighting him, I'm fighting this guy. I was sitting in the library working on an essay for my literature class about how Thomas Hardy's life experience affected the morals of his novels. I had been hard at work for some time when I suddenly heard a voice behind me. Oh, of course it would be Mark. It's old Fabio. That is wrong. Excuse me? You are misunderstanding the meaning of literary realism. You're reading my essay over my shoulder? Yes. That's a bit creepy. It's not private, is it? You will show it to your professor, your class, and I might offer it to someone else to proofread or comment on, but that would be my choice, he hadn't asked. That's true. I didn't ask, Mark. That's kind of creepy still. You're invading my personal space, okay, Mark? I need you to leave my personal space right now. I apologize if I upset you. I was passing by and saw that you were working. I did not wish to disturb you until I saw what you were writing. Well, it is creepy, but I'm not gonna make a big deal over somebody watching me write an essay paper, so yeah, whatever. Let him help. I suppose you may as well read the whole thing then. I handed over the paper and assignment instructions. It couldn't hurt to get another viewpoint, right? Most of his comments turned out to be relevant to my particular class. Oh, not to be relevant, but they did make me think of a few things I could add on my own. Oh, well, thanks a lot for the help, Mark. Speaking of which, that phrase that Mark spoke to us in a foreign language the other time? You guys let me know it was apparently Russian for I'm nice, I'm cute, something like that. I'm sweet, something like to that degree. So Mark might have a thing for us, as I'm throwing out there. In early February, Danny's soccer team had their first match. He formally invited the entire hostel to come see it if they wanted, but let everyone know he wouldn't hold it against them if they didn't show up. Not surprisingly, not everyone wanted to go. In the end, Ashley, Peggy, and I walked into the park together, tiny flags in our hands. Ashley was such a nice girl that she couldn't possibly turn down the invitation, but Peggy seemed particularly excited about cheering for Danny. Uh-oh. I knew Peggy and Danny were good friends, but seeing the way they interacted, Guys, we might have a problem with Peggy here. I was a little jealous of her. I was a little jealous of him. No, I'm not jealous of her. I don't care about Danny. I'm jealous of him, because apparently she likes him. I wonder if there was more than that. No. So, we obviously have to go after Peggy, so I was a little jealous of him. I couldn't help but wish that Peggy was cheering for me instead. There we go. I hadn't been good enough to make the team, and I didn't really want to be in it anyway, so it was silly to sulk about it now. Still, it would be nice to feel that someone appreciated me. Danny was a nice guy. He was smart, attractive, well organized. He was constantly helping out around the house and looking after everyone. Of course, people would admire that. Maybe I ought to volunteer more. Woo! Go, Danny! Danny, now dashing out into the field for the first time, looked into the stands and saw us. He beamed and waved, and Peggy waved frantically back. This isn't looking too good for us, guys. I'm letting you know right now. I held up a hand and smiled, and then he was in, focused on the game. I took some pictures on my phone, thinking they might be useful at some point in the future. In what way, you creeper? His team won the game, as expected. Danny was flawless, so flawless it was almost suspicious. I suppose it isn't fair to be suspicious of him just because he's a great person. There have to be some people like him in the world. Pardon? Did you say something? Nope. We crossed the end of the field to congratulate Danny on his win, waiting for him to finish his team's victory speech before approaching. Danny, you did it! Good job! Excuse me, Peggy, can you, remove yourself from that man? Alright? You're making me jealous, Peggy. Peggy jumped into his arms as soon as he turned around. Oh, god damn it! Congratulations! Thank you all for coming. It means a lot to me. Of course, it's the least we could do. So we're gonna go out to a celebratory drink or something? No, that's alright. I've got some work to do back at the hostel. Been neglecting my studies a bit. Really? That's not like you at all. Come on, a little drink wouldn't hurt. No, I'm fine. He said it firmly, and although he wasn't being rude, his humorless attitude killed the celebratory atmosphere. Well, okay, that's fine then. I bet we all got work to do anyways. Are we walking back together? He shook his head. I have a few other things to do in the pitch. Sorry. It's fine. Well, good game. I guess we'll head home then. It was very nice seeing you. Danny nodded, and Peggy, Ashley, and I headed for the hostel. We got to the edge of the park when I patted my pockets. Something was missing. Oh no, my phone! Don't tell me you left it back there. Want us to come with you to get it? No, it's fine. I'll leave you a moment. I dashed back to the field and searched the bleachers where we had been sitting, but found nothing. I mean, the moment you leave a phone in a public area, you might as well just kiss that shit goodbye. You're not gonna find it. Believe me, I've lost my fair share of phones that way. Which, by the way, was under the guise of alcohol. You know, that's probably one of the reasons why I shouldn't drink so often, because, you know, I lose shit. But yeah. The moment you leave a phone in a public area, you're not gonna find it on the way back, believe me. No way. No siree, Bob. Especially with how expensive phones are these days. Nope. My panic was rising when I saw Danny waving at me from down the field, something glinting in his hand. My phone! Oh, Danny found it. We lucked out here, but normally that doesn't happen in the real world, okay? This is a game. I ran over to him and he cheerfully dangled it in front of his hand. You should keep a better grip on your possessions, Falcon 69. Otherwise, someone might rob you blind. Yeah, no kidding. I took the phone back from him and blanked at the pictures of him, clearly visible on the screen. Oh, no! Oh, it's not what you think, Danny. I wasn't taking pictures of you like a creeper. I don't know why he took pictures of you. I really don't know why. He wanted to use them for later, whatever that means. I think we know what that means, you know what I'm saying here? Falcon's own personal time? Well, I mean, his personal time, not mine. I wouldn't wank one off to Danny, okay? It's just not my type of thing, that's all I'm saying. Wait, did you bypass my lock? I told you need to improve your security. That was a little weird, but I didn't want to tell him off for it. He did give me my phone back. Anyways, congratulations on winning the game. I know I didn't say it earlier, you definitely deserved it. You're a great team captain, you're great at everything, I really admire you. His face darkened and he shook his head. Don't say that. Why not? He held up a hand and shook his head. I don't want to talk about it, but please don't act like I'm a great person. I'm not. I don't deserve it, so don't say it. Alright. Right. Now, aren't the other two waiting on you? Oh yeah, I guess I'll talk to you later then. Cheers. I left the field, too wrapped up in what just happened to hurry much. It's about time. Had trouble finding it? Yeah, but Danny found it for me. Oh, how sweet of him. Anyways, let's get back. Ashley says she's gonna make some flapjacks to celebrate. I nodded, not sure whether I should tell her that Danny might not appreciate the celebration. Most people were humble just for show, but something about the way Danny said what he did made me think he sincerely, earnestly believed that there was something wrong with him. But what made him feel that way about himself? What was wrong? I gotta be honest with you, that's a really weird way to react, you know? Hey, good job, team captain, you were great. Don't you dare say that, I'm not. It's like, whoa, okay. I had just changed out of my work uniform and sat down at my desk to write a letter to my mother when... Hey! My door slammed open and Peggy entered walking like a zombie. Peggy, is something wrong? She looked at me, tears filling her eyes. Oh, Falcon 69, this world is full of heartless assholes who only think about themselves. You just figured it out? She shot me a glare and I chuckled. Okay, but what really happened? She cast her eyes on the floor and started drawing circles with her foot. My petition? I'm guessing you didn't manage to reach 5,000 signatures. She gave a heavy sniff, confirming my thoughts. Maybe next time? Or hug her, okay. Well, we finally got a chance to get a little bit physical here with somebody. This is Peggy. So should we hug her? Would she react okay to a hug? I mean, do you randomly just hug somebody? I mean, yeah, sure, she's upset. If she's over here, like, really upset and, like, you know, drawing circles with her foot in the floor, maybe a good hug would do it. Let's go for a hug here. Well, that's okay, come here. I lifted my arms in what I hope was a comforting way, and Peggy collapsed into me, clinging onto my shirt like a frightened kitten. Aw, boy-hos, here we go. I worked so hard. I know you did. No one else would have worked as hard as you did. You even helped, and it wasn't enough. It's okay, don't worry. This is a minor setback in the grand scheme of things. I know you. You'll pull through in no time and find another way to help save the Earth. We don't have recycling here at the hostel, after all. You could badger James about that." She sniffed, and I stroked her hair. We stood for a few moments in silence. Do you want to sit down or something?" She nodded into my shoulder, then Zombie walked over to my bed. She fell into it like a lump of clay. Well, I mean, now I'm feeling like I've drugged her or something, which is not the way I kind of want to get her into bed, man. I'm just throwing it out there right now. It's kind of really uncomfortable this way. I know I can't give up now, but I'm just so frustrated. Nobody cares, but they should. If they cared a little bit more, the world would be so much better. But they don't want to feel bad, so they don't. There's a literal Holocaust going down in North Korea, and does anyone care? No, they're all just worried about their little gardens while people are suffering. And I can't even blame them, is the sad part. I nodded and Peggy yawned. It's just not fair. And if I could... Peggy? I glanced at her, she was fast asleep, mouth open on my pillow. What is she, narcoleptic? She was just talking to me about like a Holocaust here a second ago and she's just suddenly asleep now. I mean, that's a really fast way to drift into like, just an open, clear state of mind into like, just completely nap time, you know what I'm saying? She's narcoleptic, we figured something out about Peggy. From now on, we know, Peggy narcoleptic, it might come down the line. We might need this information down the future, you never know. Now that I was looking at her, she had heavy bags under her eyes, and her hair looked more frazzled than usual. When was the last time she slept? Oh, well, I guess she's been busy with that too. Okay, well, we have found out she's not narcoleptic after all. I'm pretty sure she was, and I was just being a smartass. In light of that, I let her take a nap on my bed. At least she didn't snore much. It wasn't until late that night that Peggy opened her eyes again. What? Where am I? You fell asleep in my room. Mid-sentence, might I add. Seriously? What time is it? Oh my god, 9 already? I have work to do. I'm way off my schedule. Peggy, how much stuff are you doing? Not that much. I mean, I'm a chemistry major and I like to study biology in my spare time, so there's a bit of homework from that. And then my part-time job, the volleyball team, the green clubs, and my mates have a band on weekends. You're doing all of that? How? She shrugged. You've got to take better care of yourself. You're going to wear yourself out. Even you, with your boundless energy, will eventually reach your limit. If you say so. I do. And are you eating well? I'm not just living off crisps and lager. I take vitamins. Peggy, promise me you eat some vegetables before you go to sleep, and drink some water. But Falcon 69, promise me! Fine, I promise. I know you care about the world, but you have to care about you too. Make sure you get some sleep and try not to stress out. If you get too stressed out, come talk to me. I'll hug you until you feel better. This guy, I'll hug you until you feel better. It's kinda weird, but okay. Peggy's face colored, and she hopped off my bed. Right, well, thanks for the help. I'm gonna go now, cheers. And she scuttled out of the room. With Peggy, it was always one thing or another. As exhausting as she could be, I honestly envied her. She had so many things she was passionate about, so many things she wanted to do and get better at. She had better direction, which I lacked. It was easy to care about her. I wanted to see her succeed. It's much like a brother probably would. Probably. Anyway, I should get back to work. Well, I'm not sure like a brother would. I mean, how about a lover? You want to have your significant other succeed? That's the type of success I'm looking for Peggy, as a lover, not a brother bro, okay? That's kind of weird now. I crept into the dining area following my nose. Somebody had cooked something lovely. Hey, the whole gang's here. I was met by Ozzy, Brendan, Ashley, and to my utter surprise, Jiho. Ashley looked up and smiled when I came in. Hello, everyone. I glanced at the plate loaded with food in the center of the table. Is there room for another? Brendan narrowed his eyes and opened his mouth to respond, but, of course, the more the merrier. Brendan glared at her, but shut his mouth. The decision had been made. Fuck you, Brendan. Nodding my thanks like that, I dished up some food for myself, then took a seat with the others. I hadn't been seeing much of Jiho around the hostel, but it didn't seem like I would be able to get to know her very well in this group of people. Ozzy and Brendan were deep in a discussion about some spat between a celebrity couple, each on total opposite sides of the debate. Ashley kept trying to make peace, but they were not having it. Jiho, meanwhile, quietly ate her food and observed. After a while, I drew out Ashley's attention and we began to have a conversation about different kinds of food we liked and restaurants we had been to. Jiho didn't join in, but she turned her deep brown eyes on me, and I grew hot under her gaze. It was so intense, like having the weight of the 1,000 rocks hung on my shoulders. Despite that, I actually got her to laugh a few times, and Ashley and I had fun. As the conversation went on, I suddenly noticed the rest of the room was quiet. Ozzy and Brendan had stopped arguing, and were now staring at me. I don't know why, but their stares felt different from Jiho's. Brendan's especially made me uncomfortable. I did my best to ignore the feeling of being judged and carry on. Eventually we finished our meal and I helped Ashley clean it up after everyone else left. Thanks for another great meal, Ashley. She blushed and shook her head. No problem. It was an odd evening, but a pleasant one. Yeah, it kinda got weird there at the end, huh? That's all I'm saying. While I was eating breakfast with Mark, Jiho, and Aussie, James came in. You. The yard again? He closed his mouth, then nodded. Bushes need trimming. By the 9 or you're out. Hey James, can we talk about how your shirt's always fucking dirty? Like, do you ever, do a wash here? Do you ever even change your clothes, my man? Every single time I see that guy, dirty ass shirt. We traded looks, but there wasn't a whole lot of bushes around the hostel, so it shouldn't be too large a job, but it was still February, still cold, and this still wouldn't be much fun. Another chance to explore the city. I set out in the opposite direction as last time, heading for King's Cross Station. Why be in London if you can't see the best sights? A familiar woman stood in the middle of the square before King's Cross Station, serenely painting the exterior of the new building. I ducked behind a food cart, despite the fact that I didn't need to. There were more than enough people wandering around. She shouldn't be able to notice me. I couldn't explain why I was doing this either, but something about her intensity intrigued me. Her face contorted this way and that, as she was trying to embody great emotions, but it was just a building in front of her. What exactly was she trying to do? As I watched, her brush strokes grew shorter and more staccato, and she took more and more breaks to stand and stare at the canvas, cocking her head to the side. Her shoulders hunched over her ears, and then she began stabbing the canvas with her brush. Uh-oh, she was getting angry. Maybe I ought to do something. Joke around and lighten the mood, or invite her to relax over coffee. This might be like a way to chase Jiho as a romance option, so let's just go with joke around and lighten the mood. I crept alongside her and watched her stabbing the canvas, probably ruining her brush. Is it dead yet? She jumped. Oh, when did you get here? A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Oh, we're doing that now. What? I'm just joking with you. What are you working on? A self-portrait? I chuckled, but she did not look pleased. Oh. Clearly not. Clearly not. It's clearly not right. It doesn't look like a self-portrait. How could it look like a self-portrait? I don't look like that. That's so rude. No, I didn't. I was trying to mess with you. Well, you messed with me all right. You're so insensitive. You don't... She stopped mid-sentence, suddenly deflating. I mean, never mind. I get it, bro. What is it with this girl and her multiple personalities, man? It's so weird. Bro? Yeah, man, I get it. It was a joke. Super cool. Chill. She sighed. Never mind. I think I'm done for the day. I'm gonna head back. Did you go into the station to see the platform already? Yeah, I did that already. Actually, I have an errand to run. I need to leave. Oh, okay. I get the feeling she didn't want me tagging along. I watched as she packed up her things and tucked the still wet canvas under her arm. I'll see you back at the hostel? I'm sure you will. In hindsight, making fun of her painting was a terrible idea. Way to go, Falcon 69. Oh, come on, it was just friendly banter. While you don't have friendly banter with friends and acquaintances now, or what? Well, at least I can carry on with my sightseeing. Alrighty, I woke up early on Valentine's Day, feeling quite lonely. And I think that's a perfect time for us to wrap it up here. We have Lonely Falcon. We're chasing Peggy, but she might have feelings for Danny. Jiho apparently cannot take friendly banter. Ashley is, I don't know what Ashley's doing right now. We're still kind of seeing that, we're kind of feeling that one out. Not literally, just figuratively feeling her out. Okay? Don't jump to conclusions here. So, we're gonna wrap it up here. I hope you guys are enjoying it. As always, let me know in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling about things here, about the story thus far, and about the series as well. Stick around for the next one. I will have it up pretty soon. I will catch you next time.